How's it going, guys? This is ZedEye here. So I wanted to touch on regarding a little game called Until Dawn. So we're getting actually an enhanced version on the PlayStation 5 and also PC following, well, this year. It's pretty awesome to see that actually this game's coming out sooner rather than later, since there are some occasions that we even have to wait for quite a while for the enhancements coming up for particular games, especially by the name of Bloodborne. What's going on with that game, seriously? So there's a PlayStation blog article. I definitely want to read it out because they're getting into the nitty-gritty of what to expect out of this enhancement of the Until Dawn. I am looking forward to it. I want to try it out for myself and to experience it, if I like it or not again, since I platinumed it before on the PlayStation 4 version of this game as well, and man, it's been a long time since the last time I even played it. Until Dawn has remained a core genre-defining horror experience for the players since its release almost a decade ago. We're now taking these amazing foundations and adding more emotional depth, an enhanced look, and a complete new soundscape that a game with such a strong legacy deserves. Rebuilt in Unreal Engine 5, Until Dawn has seen enhancements across the board, all made with passion and care for the original from the team of horror lovers, film fanatics, and veteran game makers at Ballistic Moon, and it's coming to PlayStation 5 and PC this year. Until Dawn has been rebuilt with the latest tools and techniques, new and improved animations built on the success of the original character performances, characters' environments, and VFX has been upgraded, all for the truly enhanced cinematic horror experience. We use a broader cinematic tonal color palette and new perspective to make the story more nuanced and emotional. We've been brave enough to shine a light into the dark, unseen corners of Blackwood Mountain and added a third-person camera. This is actually a big deal. I'm very curious to see how this game will actually turn out being of a third-person perspective, which means you can now look behind the curtain of the original game, exploring enhanced and new locations with new interactions and the collectibles. Incorporating a third-person camera and adding contextual character movement animations, the game now allows the player to really feel the experience of that fateful night. Until Dawn's sound has undergone a massive overhaul too, featuring a new score from the legendary horror composer Mark Corvin. We have endeavored to keep the fantastic narrative integrity of the original, but we have seized the opportunity to expand upon unexplored emotional parts of the story. Look out for more news on the enhanced version of Until Dawn coming later this year. Also stay tuned for more of the newly announced film adaptation of Until Dawn from PlayStation Productions and Sony Screen Gems, to be directed by David F. Sandberg from the Lights Out Annabelle creation, and the screenplay written by Gary Duberman from It Chapter 2, The Nun and The Nun 2, and Blair Butler from The Invitation. I think this is the whole reason. Because of the newly announced film, this is the reason why they're making these enhancements. Now, I don't think you can necessarily, just simply as that, by press of a button and just simply make an enhancement. Obviously, it would be a little bit more complicated. But nevertheless, it's still interesting to see that a different studio is actually making this game. Well, this enhancement, I should say again. But a core of the team is actually similar. Now, there are some new people, but the old veterans are actually still present in this newly formed team. So it's actually pretty awesome to see that returning people, developers, are making this sort of enhancement. And I really like this. At least it's a nice way of seeing how they actually get to revisit their old title and giving it a nice touch up with the remaster version of the same game that they've previously worked on. Until Dawn released in 2015. It's been a while. It's going to be almost a decade since this game's launch. And also, I do think this game doesn't necessarily need a touch up. In fact, it was already fine as it was, and it doesn't feel like it was really, downgraded. I shouldn't say downgraded, but outdated, if that's any way to say it. But I'm curious to see how they're gonna implement it to make it the best version as it can be, like as they say, the definitive edition. So yeah, it makes sense why they are trying to do this enhancement, and especially with the re-release of the PlayStation 5 and also the PC, since the adaptation movie is also coming for the Until Dawn. Man, PlayStation's going all out with movies, aren't they? It's just seriously. And it's just more to come, in fact. It's always great news to see. I am curious to see what kind of different direction that they'll decide with to go, especially with this movie. But again, Until Dawn, it was already kind of like a movie, nevertheless. And on top of that, we have seen time and time again from movies themselves out there that are kind of similar as Until Dawn was. Well, alright. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Like and subscribe. See you guys all, and have a wonderful day.